My dear friend, how are you? I hope that you are healthy, and wealthy. So uh, this is my video about the visit of the Qatar King. We welcome all the Qatar King, but I want to ask the Qatar King when the Nupur Sharma stated the same as written in the Hadith or the jurisprudence or description of the Islamic book, which is authenticated hadith in the Sahih Bukhari, and according to Aisha-Bint-ABU-BAKAR, the daughter of the Abu Bakr, the first caliph of the Islam, stated that I was only 6 years old and I playing with the dolls when the Prophet, so-called Prophet Muhammad, came to me with engaged me or with marry me, and when I was 9 years old I was in fever, and the so-called Prophet Muhammad came to take me, as he consummated me at the 9 year old when she was only the 9 year olds. Such type of person are known as the pedophile, means the person who enjoy the sex or intercourse with the younger girl or the too much young girl, rather the infant girl. When the Aisha bint Abu Bakr was playing with the dolls, she has no knowledge about the sex or intercourse, what is the sexual life. After all, those people who are screaming that the Aisha was young woman at the age of 9, this cannot be proved at any cost, because since inception, since evolution or inception, the origin of the species, the Homo sapiens came to in existence 205 2.5 billion years. 25 2.5 and a 0.25 billion years ago, means 2 lakhs and a half 50,000 years ago. So there is no evidence that any girl who is having the age of 9 was so mature. According to the evolution theory, the man height measures up to 5 feet to 7 or 8 feet. Rarely men were the 7 feet height, are they rarely on those days also. Neanderthal man was the average height, man standard height was the 6 feet tall. So we can say that this such type of lies of the Islam, which was propagated, which are being propagated by so-called Islamic scholars, that Aisha was young. But my question is that Aisha was only 9 year old when, though he was young, according to the Islamic scholars, but the Prophet Muhammad was 54 years old. Age difference between the Prophet, so-called Prophet Muhammad, I would not like to say him as a prophet, because his deeds were so heinous crime against the humanity, or devastated the human values at all. There was the 45 years gap between the Aisha bint Abu Bakr age and the so-called Prophet Muhammad age. When the Prophet Muhammad died at the age of 63, she was only 18 years old. And you think, what is about his lust or intercourse, or what is about her young age, had been passed in the misery and distress. This is why she was involved in many wars against the Hazrat Ali, the son-in-law of so-called Prophet Muhammad. So when the Nupur Sharma stated the same, why the Qatar king was screaming, the Qatar estate was screaming, are you ashamed? The heinous crime which were committed by his Prophet Muhammad, if you are ashamed, then you must aware that you must reform the Islamic verses of the Quran, that this is your firm determination that Quran cannot be changed or cannot be rectified, means this your Islamic ideology is forever. And if it is forever, then all the non-Muslims are the enemy according to your book, that is Quran, and the Quran allows the killings of the non-Muslims at any cost. Either There is a two option to the non-Muslims: either they have adopted the Islam, or either they will be brutally killed by the Muslims, as your Quran stated in many verses that the non-Muslims have no right to live peacefully with Muslims. Because if you are living with the Muslims, your neighborhood is the Muslim population, your life will be in danger and miserable. You see so many countries which are the Islamic countries, the life is miserable of the non-Muslims. Though many, some people say that there are a lot of Hindus in Dubai and the United Arab Emirat and the Saudi Arabia. This is the compulsion of the Islamic world or Islamic countries, because they have not produced so much technicians, so much doctors, so much engineers, or so much well educated persons. Because if they are following the Quran, they cannot understand the real scientific values, because Quran itself it tells a book of the duffers. Because in the Quran it has been mentioned that the earth is just like a bed sheet, and the mountain put on the earth because due to the any mishappening with the earth, or the wipe out by the air. So such type of stupidity cannot exist in that book. This book is belong to the creator, means Allah is not a creator. Allah is a only falsehood and the fabricated story which was created by so-called Prophet Muhammad for his vested interest. Because so many verses are in the Quran only for the profit of the prophet. Profit, to the prophet. Prophet to the prophet means when Muhammad went to his adopted son Zaid bin Harith, he saw that his wife Zainab was half naked. So he was so lustful, so called Prophet Muhammad. He saw the wife, and he was very lusty, or he was leering. His saliva was dropping or sweating from his mouth, and this is why, and this is why and this is why he he sent down a verse of the Quran from the so-called Jibril angel. Though Jibril was not angel, he was a Satan. And according to the Judaism, the Jibril was an angel, but the Quranic angel, that is known as Jibril. The urbanization or urbanization of that Gabriel into the Arabic language known as Jibril, Gabriel to Jibril, was Satan. He sent down a verse in favor of the Prophet Muhammad that there is no son which is adopted by Muhammad. Muhammad is not the father of any son. Then my question arises, then if the Muhammad is not the father of anyone, then why the wife of the Muhammad are the mother of the Muslims or the Ummah? This is double standard. This is the double standard and the misunderstanding among the Muslims. Even though there is many fables in the Quran that the Prophet Muhammad cut the moon in two pieces, but nobody could see the cutting of the moon by his finger. This is falsehood, fabricated story, the greatest lie of the Islam. There is a well-known problem. If there is so much lies, the Islam survives. If there is no lie, the Islam dies. So we can say that the Qatar king, why was screaming when the Nupur Sharma stated the same, and so many YouTube, so many channels are exposing the Islam and the Quranic violence, because this Quranic violence is ultimately the death warrant to the non-Muslims, especially in India, Hindus, and in the European country, the Christians. So why we should bear such type of idiocy or the stupidity of Quran? We are not the predator. We are not the prey of a predator known as the Muslims. We we cannot bear such type of idiocy, super stupidity, which allows to kill the non-Muslim as I am also. So why we should not respond in the same manner, and the retaliation may be 100 times. So such type of Islamic monster could not dare to do anything against the non-Muslims. This must be in the united level, or must be throughout the world, a organization which Kafir international organization must be reinstated, or must be restructured to fight against this Islamic atrocity or violence against the non-Muslims. So Qatar must know, if you have Allah, then why are you coming to India to only for the petroleum? Okay, please take our petroleum, because India wants to take petroleum from the non-Islamic countries, because these Islamic countries are the followers of the Islamic doctrine of the violence. So who follows the Islamic doctrine is a monster. He is a devil. He is a anti-human. He is a anti. He is a barbaric in nature if he follows the Islam as written in the Quran and act accordingly. So my message to all the non-Muslims, ex-Muslims, and the humanitarian peoples, that we must fight against this stupidity, this treacherousness of the Islamic jurisprudence against the non-Muslims. Otherwise, our next coming generation will be in danger. Thank you very much. See you.